Hi, my name is Jobert Padua and I'm taking up Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management, second year student. And today in this video, I'm going to discuss the first, what is taxation and the classification of individual taxpayers. So first, taxation is a process or means by which the sovereign, through its lawmaking body, imposes burdens upon subjects and objects within its jurisdiction for the purpose of raising revenues to carry out legitimate object of the government. So process, ibig sabihin, dadaan ito sa series of actions para talagang ma-exercise ng government yung kanyang power to tax. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya basta mangongolekta lang ng tax. And subject and objects, ito yung natural persons or juridical persons. Halimbawa nito is corporation, partnership, privileges to earn, privileges na magpamana, and sales. Halimbawa nagbenta ka ng lupa, so magbabayad ka ng tinatawag natin na capital gain tax. So ang basis ng taxation is like a give and take. Magbabayad yung mga tao ng tax and yung government ay magpo-provide ng public service. So parang palitan lang. Yan, so let's come now to classification of individual income taxpayers. So who are individual taxpayers? So these are the natural persons with income derived from its within the territorial jurisdiction of a taxing authority. So there are two types of persons, the natural person and juridical persons. So yung mga juridical persons, ito yung corporation, partnership, joint venture, yun yung mga halimbawa ng juridical person. So hindi ito yung totoong person. Tinatawag lang silang person dahil kumbaga sa mata ng batas, sila ay person. Tinatawag din silang artificial persons. So dito tayo sa natural person. So there are two major categories of individual taxpayer. The citizen and alien. So sa citizen merong two types, the resident citizen and non-resident citizen. Sa alien naman, merong tinatawag na resident alien and non-resident alien. Itong non-resident alien ay maaaring engage in trade and not engage in trade. So, kailan ba natin masasabi kung ang isang Pinoy ay resident citizen and non-resident citizen? So, ayon sa National Internal Revenue Code or Tax Code of the Philippines, Section 22, Paragraph E. So, sinasabi dito kung ano yung or kung sino yung mga non-resident citizen. So, ibig sabihin, yung hindi nabanggit dito, sila yung mga resident citizen. Ayan, so, first, babasahin ko yung sinasabi dito sa Section 22. A citizen who establishes the satisfaction of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, the fact of his physical presence abroad with a definite intention to reside therein. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga immigrants or yung mga nakatira na sa ibang bansa permanently. So, tinatawag silang non-resident citizen. Yung pangalawa, a citizen who leaves the Philippines during the taxable year to reside abroad, either as an immigrant or for employment on a permanent basis. So, ibig sabihin, ang taxable year po is from January to December. So, ang sabi is bawal daw yung sa individual taxpayer is bawal yung fiscal year. So, ang taxable year is from January to December. So ang ibig sabihin nito, ito yung mga umalis ng bansa para magtrabaho abroad permanently, or pwede rin ang reason nila kaya umalis ng bansa is para magstay na doon or doon na tumira. So tinatawag din silang non-resident citizen. And pangatlo, a citizen of the Philippines who work and derives income from abroad and whose employment thereat requires him to be physically present abroad. So, most of the time during the taxable year. So, ito yung mga OFW. So, paano ba natin masasabing most of the time? Para masabing most of the time, ang sabi sa batas dapat lagpas kalahating taon. So, meron tayong 365 days in 1 year. So, kung hahatiin natin yun sa dalawa is 182.5. So, para lumagpas sa kalahating taon, at least umabot ng 183 days. So, ibig sabihin, so halimbawa, kung lumagpas ka ng or umabot ka ng 183 days is considered as NRC ka na or non-resident citizen. Pero kung most of the time nasa abroad ka pero ang purpose mo hindi ka naman immigrant or hindi ka naman employed sa ibang bansa. So halimbawa katulad ni Manny Pacquiao, so pupunta siya sa ibang bansa para hindi naman para magtrabaho, hindi naman para doon na tumira. So kahit na umabot pa ng 183 days, so consider as RC pa rin siya, resident citizen. Dahil ang sinasabi lang sa batas kung ikaw ay imigrante or permanent employee, saka ka lang tatawagin na non-resident citizen. So, importante na malaman natin yung classification ng ng individual tax payers dahil because they are taxable differently. Halimbawa, yung RC or resident citizen, ang binabayaran nilang tax is within and without. Ibig sabihin, yung kita nila sa labas ng bansa and kinikita nila sa loob ng bansa is magbabayad sila ng tax. Unlike dun sa the rest, within only. Kung saan lang yung may kinalaman kung halimbawa, yung kita lang nila, so halimbawa yung kita lang nila dito sa loob ng bansa, yun lang yung babayaran nila. So magkaiba-iba sila. And so may sinasabi din pala sa Section 22, Paragraph E ng Tax Code of the Philippines na citizen classified both as resident and non-resident in one taxable year. So ibig sabihin, maaring tawagin ka ng resident citizen and non-resident citizen in one taxable year. So halimbawa nito is halimbawa umalis ka ng Pilipinas ng September and ang reason mo is doon ka natitira talaga sa ibang bansa. So from the time na umalis ka, the moment na umalis ka is consider as non-resident citizen ka na. Pero yung in-stay mo dito sa Pilipinas from January to bago ka umalis, so magbabayad ka pa rin ng tax dito. So pwede kang tawaging RC ka pa rin doon or resident citizen ka pa rin. So kaya siya tinawag na resident citizen and non-resident citizen in one taxable year. Ayan, so let's come now to resident alien. So sino ba yung mga paano ba natin masasabi kung sino yung resident alien? So sa Tax Code of the Philippines, Section 22, Paragraph F, sinasabi dito kung sino yung mga resident alien. So, una, babasahin ko ulit, means an individual whose residence is within the Philippines and who is not a citizen thereof. So, ibig sabihin, nakatira siya sa Pilipinas pero or foreigner siya na nakatira sa Pilipinas. Yung pangalawa, aliens who are actually present in the Philippines and who are not mere transient or sojourners. Ibig sabihin, nakatira talaga siya sa Pilipinas at hindi basta namamasya lang or basta bumisita lang. Yan, pangatlo, an alien who lives in the Philippines with no definite intention as to his stay is also a resident alien. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya alam kung hanggang kailan siya dito sa Pilipinas. So, that person will be classified as resident alien. And the last one is an alien who comes to the Philippines for the purpose that requires extended stay for its accomplishment. So, he makes his home temporarily in the Philippines. Halimbawa nito is si foreigner, may kailangan gawin, halimbawa, may kailangan gawin dito sa Pilipinas, ayusin, halimbawa yung internet provider. So, hindi niya alam na mahirap palang ayusin yung internet dito. So, kailangan niya magtagal, mag-extend ng stay. So, he will be classified also as resident alien. So, dito naman sa non-resident alien, sa Section 22 ng Paragraph G, dito sinasabi kung sino naman yung mga non-resident alien. Ang una is means an individual whose residence is not within the Philippines and who is not a citizen. So, parang binaliktad lang. Foreigner siya pero hindi rin naman nakatira sa Pilipinas. So, non-resident alien siya. Pangalawa, they are aliens who come to the Philippines for a definite purpose which in its nature may be promptly accomplished. So, halimbawa, mga celebrity katulad ni LeBron James para mag-promote lang ng pumunta ng Pilipinas, para mag-promote lang ng brand ng shoes niya. And definite naman yung pagstay niya dito, kumbaga in short period of time lang. Kunyari, mag-stay siya for 1 week lang. So, non-resident alien siya. Pero kung sinasabing definite pero matagal, di resident alien yon. And sunod is they are alien who have mere transient or non-transient. So, sinabi ko kanina na ang non-resident alien ay maaaring engage in trade or business and not engage in trade or business. So, halimbawa, aliens who have business income in the Philippines, kung may negosyo talaga siya dito sa Pilipinas, engage in business siya. Pero kung halimbawa pumunta siya ng Pilipinas and sinabing, halimbawa nag-deposit siya sa bangko, so ibig sabihin nag-earn ng interest yon or nag-invest siya sa bond. So, hindi naman yun talaga business. Kumbaga, ang tawag doon is passive income. So, sa ganong sitwasyon, hindi siya pwedeng tawagin na non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. Dahil ang tinutukoy lang dito is yung may business talaga dito sa Pilipinas. Pangalawa is yung aliens who stayed in the Philippines for an aggregate period of more than 180 days during the taxable year. So, ito rin yung sinasabing most of the time dun sa non-resident citizen katulad dun. Pero ang pagkakaiba lang is sa Pinoy, 183 days. And dito pag sa foreigner is 180 days lang ang most of the time nila. More than 180 days. So hindi ko alam kung bakit magkaiba. So maaaring dito sa foreigner ang ginamit is 360 days lang. Kaya yung kalahati is 180 days lang. So dun sa NRC, ang ginamit is 365 days kaya naging 183 days yung kalahating taon. So yun yung most of the time. So halimbawa, lumagpas ng 183 days, so tatawagin kang resident alien engaged in trade or business. Nakalimutan ko palang sabihin kanina na ang most of the time, ang ibig sabihin ng most of the time ay hindi siya consecutive, hindi kinakailangan na dapat consecutive siya. So maaaring sa January, halimbawa yung foreigner andito sa Pilipinas ng January, mga ilang araw ng January, then wala ng February, and March andito siya ng buong March, and sumunod naman is wala. So mag-accumulate yun, and sa loob ng taxable year, bibilangin yun. Doon yun babasehan yung tinatawag na most of the time. Yan. Maraming salamat po at sana ay naipalawanag ko ng maayos ang napili kong topic. Thank you po.